Good morning, guys. We got a beautiful day. I think the Typhoon's hiding above them clouds somewhere, because we ain't seeing it. And we heard a lot of towns closed down, just crazy. But it's the 29th of May, 2023. And I think some of these people down there must have saw the logs, because these new blocks that are coming in, these things there, I'm losing my black belt. I don't like how they stack them, because they look like they're going to fall down again. They always stack them crooked. I told the kids to stay away from there, but I'll tell you the truth. These blocks are good, solid blocks, but it's a royal shame. The thing that really gets me is all the rest of the blocks that were used there are the crappy ones. I can go right up to that wall and pull a big chunk off of that. So now they're putting these good, and these blocks are twice as heavy. They're putting these good heavy blocks up on top of the bad ones. So I don't think that's going to help the house out any. I'm just amazed here in the Philippines that nobody would say anything. You know, it took my vlog getting out and one of the folks up in town to see that and then say something before they got some nice blocks in here. It just amazes me. But I know when I worked on the jobs construction, I used to get, when I first started, I used to get a lot of help where I could be a helper for the carpenters or roofers or plumbers. You know, if I didn't have work, a lot of weekend work I could get from them. And if I saw something wasn't right, I would say something. And they'd say, oh no, that's okay, this is this way because of the, okay, now I understand. But if there was something wrong, I'd say, man, thanks for telling me. That could have turned out real bad. You know, so, you know, that's what you do, but not here. They don't do that here. But my little sweetie, we had gone down to the bank, and for the visa, it's good to have bank accounts that have a little bit of money in them. So, okay, we're good. And well, they wouldn't give it to her right away. They got to send it to her. Well, they wound up sending it to her, and the address is wrong. So and they won't fix it here in Lipa City. Even though it's the same bank, you have to go back where you opened up the account. So she's going to jump on the bus here. She's got to get a bath, and I'm going to take her up to the gate so she can jump on the bus and go to Carmona to the banks. They don't open until like 10. And then she's going to go in there and change the address and then get her deposit slips, so that they see she's got bank accounts. We're trying to touch every base we can. I don't want anybody doing this, because I mean we're all really geared. All of us want to go on the trip so bad. You know, it'll be something for the kids. It's going to be one of the most wonderful things for us to head out there. And then talking to my wife, something I didn't know. I just didn't know it. But she had said to me that one of her dreams since she was a little kid was going to Disneyland. Well, I didn't know that. So that's definitely going into the trip. So she'll get to go to Disneyland, and we'll keep the kids on a tight rein there. And so that'll be good. Not spend a whole bunch of time there, but at least let her go to get a taste of that. We don't know how fast that visa will come in, but we're trying to get everything done to make sure everything's okay. But this big Typhoon deal was a big nothing burger. I actually was watching the track of it since it hit Guam, and I have noticed a lot of the same pictures. You know, the news media is going to sensationalize it and make it worse than it is. That's what they do. But I was watching the track, and I've been watching these tracks for 10 years, especially since I got Westpac WX, and I was thinking, no, this is, you know, Santa Claus is now living in the Philippines. He's got a channel on there. Check his channel out. He's a pretty cool guy. And he said his area where he lived, man, they just shut everything down. The mayor decided, well, we're shutting it all down. And then my wife was watching the news. It was in Tagalog, and there was a huge area somewhere up around Manila that's not even getting any rain. And she said it was shut down, but the newscaster said it was shut down because of COVID. I guess a hurricane blows that around or something now. You know, they're just never going to quit. And even my wife's starting to realize, you know, she said this morning, she says, yeah, it's just a money thing. You know, we just had it was a Filipino doctor, I forget his name right now, Gauze or something like that. And he was on YouTube and he did a test. He said, here's the test, here's a brand new test, and he tested some a fresh can of Red Bull or something like that. It was one of them little energy drink things. And he dipped it in there, and then he ran the test and it came out positive. It's just insane. You know, it's just crazy that they're still even talking about this, especially with a lot of the problems some folks are having. You know, there are some that have. So it's a shame. It's a real shame. But it's going to get to be hot today. I took the dogs out this morning and I had them walking since I think I first went out a little after 2. And I just stayed out because it was just so nice and cool. There was a good breeze, and you can see we got a breeze now. If you see the trees there, I'll hold still. We got a pretty decent breeze blowing, but the sun is hot. You know, anytime I've noticed since I've been here in Lipa, if it's a clear blue sky, you don't see me saying anything that the sun is really cooking. It seems like when there's a cloud and you get that refraction of light that it seems like it's a magnifying glass or something, because this sun that's hitting me right now feels really hot. But we're having a beautiful day. Typhoon was a big nothing burger. I guess Okinawa might get it. But and then when they were saying, oh, you know, they're going to stop, they stopped that stuff on Saturday, I'm like, yeah, I ain't even going to get here till then. It was still far off. And when Santa Claus, I think he sent me a message, he said that it was still 1,000 miles off and they were shutting everything down. You know, they seem to do that here. You know, we had that done before at school where there was a typhoon and it followed a track similar to this when they shut everything down. Our school was closed and all this for days, and we never got hit. That time we hardly even got any rain, just like this one. There's no big rain. They're doing something over here. They started cleaning this up and got all the stuff out. But I talked to Doc the other day and I was showing him that, or telling him that some, you know, the workers live down here. See that? That's one of their houses. There's a whole bunch of them along here. See that? But I know when Faye's brother was here, he lived in one up by the policeman's house, back in that corner, and there was 3 of them sharing that little hut. Morning. So I've got a leak there. Good morning. 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 Yeah, there's another one. Lots of them along here. There's the puppy dogs. Morning, puppy doggies. Hi, little fellas. They're little barking puppies. Yeah, we got my little Boomer. Somebody's got a dog. It got off the chain. It's a beautiful pup. It's probably only 4 or 5 months old, and he's a beautiful dog. Well, Boomer is starting to run with him, and he goes deaf, and I can't get him. And that dog, it's been around now for a day or so, and the only way I can get him back is I got to go physically and get him, because this dang dog's around. I don't know who it belongs to, but it's got a collar, and you can see it busted its rope. You know, you don't put a dog on a rope if you want to keep him somewhere. But he chewed through his rope, and now he's hanging around here. I told my wife, don't feed him. There's another one. Look at this. See how they do here? Look how deep that is. One of my kids falls down in there, and there's one of them pillows I talk about. But one of the kids fall down here, they're busted up. They're hurting, and pretty soon there's going to be block and rebar poking up out of there. But you know, I remember when we've had transformer bases and stuff. If you dug a hole like that, we'd have to put big safety things around it and some heavy, you know, not just a sheet of plywood or corrugated steel. We'd have to put a big reinforced one so that it could hold like 300 pounds of weight minimum. And here, when they leave, they just leave, and that's what you get. And Mumu and Maddie were running around here yesterday, and they're running through that rubble pile, and there's nails sticking out of that wood, and I had to holler at them to get the heck out of there. And Mumu came out past them bags, and right on the other side of the bags is another big deep ditch. I said, if you slip, you're going to fall down in there. But I did say something to the guys, and now each one of them, instead of just a hole where they could get trapped in, because you're not going to hear them down there. If they fall down in there and start hollering, you're not going to hear them. But at least they started putting ladders in them. I guess that's the best you're going to get here. But see, he got a ladder in this one. That's one of them high-quality OSHA approved ladders, but they're not done digging this one yet. But the other one over there, they got one of the gates setting up so if somebody gets in there, they can get out easily. So at least, you know, at least they did that. So that's kind of cool. But beautiful day. Kids are all off to school. I got my chain maintenance done on the motorbike, and the cable. I had to take the tank loose. I had to take the side cover off. The cable where it connects right in front of the carburetor, that thing just popped out just from having the thing for a year and a half. And so I had to get in there, because every time you turn the steering wheel, the throttle cable would pull it and the motor would rev up. So I had to get in there and fix that. And that little clip that was on there, as soon as I went to bend it to hold the throttle cable in that spot, nope, it snapped right off. So I had to get a piece of metal and manufacture a little one and get that straightened around, because that was no good. You go to turn the corner and it just floors it. You know, I got to watch that. But I soaked the chain real good in oil. You know, let it really soak in. I cleaned it, brushed it off, and then sucked it. And I look at some of these guys, the guys who do clean their chain. There's a spacer on the chain side on these motorcycles, and these guys don't realize you don't have to take the wheel off to get your chain off. And I see them all the time taking the whole wheel off. You just pull the axle bolt out and then drop the spacer, and then you can take the chain right off, and the wheel stays right in place. You don't even got to put it up on a jack, you know. And a lot of these fellows, they don't realize that. They jack them up and take the whole tire off when they're redoing the chain, and they don't have to do that. There's easy ways to do it, but they all seem to do it the same way here, because there's a bunch of tire places up around here, and I always see them with the wheel off. But we got this one here, and she's running really good. I checked while I was monkeying around. There's that little dog I was telling you about. A beautiful little guy, real pointy ears, but I don't know who he belongs to. But yeah, I got oil underground. A little oil spilled from my chain maintenance. But I checked the spark plug. I don't know whose dog that is, Faye. They're going to bitch at us about our dog, and there's a dog running around. So why don't you call them guys up at the thing and tell them, don't bitch about us all the time. I can't chase our dogs down all the time. Come on, Boomer. Chicky. Yeah, they bitch and complain about our dogs, and we had them up at the gate one time. Hey, your dog's running around here, and they were sitting right next to me on the couch. So for some reason, every time there's a dog loose, it don't matter what color it is. I don't care if it's black. Hey, your dog's loose. You know, they just got it against me because I'm the only foreigner in here. And most of the time we hear these dogs are out and they take pictures. It's not our dog. I said, look at it. There's my dogs right there. Oh, this is yours too. No, it's not my dog. So we get, you know, we just get crap from these guys. And this little dog here, I wish I knew who he was. I'd like to get him back home because he's a beautiful pup. I mean, look at his ears on him. I don't know. We're not zoomed in really good with the camera, but look at the beautiful ears. But he's scraped up. It looks like he he took a bad fall in his travels, or it looks like he might have got hit, because that's definitely road rash on him. But he chewed his little collar thing, and you can see he's been on the road for a while. You know, he's kind of beat up, but he's a beautiful dog. You know, some little kid's probably really sad that they lost their puppy. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Don't forget to pray for our friend Gary. He's going to be getting his eye stuff done. He said the other day, we did a live yesterday, and he said he was going to be on his way to Cebu. So hopefully everything goes well with him, and also keep our buddy Ronald in your prayers. You know, because he's still in the hospital, so hopefully he gets better. And Doc seems to be doing pretty good. I yacked with him. He's going to be leaving all the way from Germany if we get the visa, and going to meet us in America, which I think is really cool. And we might also get to see old Mike Simpson. I don't know if we'll get out Sean's way, Sean, because that's like the other side of the country. You know what I mean? So, but we don't know how it's going to go. We're thinking of hitting that Disneyland in Florida. I think they got Disney World, Disney. I don't know. I don't know which one's which, but the one down in Florida. And I always like Florida. Morning. So I'm going to let you go, and this is Rickshaw out.